Give my time to finish real quick. We are streaming live right now on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So everybody come on in the room. Yeah. So yeah, we got breaking news story out of Jackson, Mississippi. We have another young lady whose life has been cut short. We have breaking news about the silver alert and the discovery of Miss Pretty Priddy Jackson. I think a 19-year-old, 21-year-old young lady that has been missing since May 29th. And so come on in, people. This is an interesting story. Um, You'll only get it first right here on Cypher Voice. And man, we got a lot of work to do. We got so much work to do in this capital city. And so please, ma'am, please, sir, go ahead and come on in if you want to. Tag a friend or hit the share button. Those that are following us right now on YouTube and also following us on Facebook for this exclusive breaking news report that you'll only get right here on the Cypher Voice. All right, so let me just go ahead and bring everybody up to speed. So Jackson will record another homicide. A young lady by the name of Pretty Jackson. A silver alert was issued for her, I think, on Thursday of this week. After gone missing. She's been missing since May the 29th, right? May the 29th was the last time someone saw her. Her family reported her missing on Thursday this week, right? And this story began to pick up some speed real fast, okay? So since May the 29th, this young lady has went missing, her and allegedly her boyfriend, all right? And on Thursday of this week, the family went to, I guess, law enforcement and asked and filed a missing person report. And that's when silver alert was issued for her, all right? Fast forward to sometimes Thursday evening, the alleged boyfriend, Janelle Smith, confesses to a family member that he has done away with Miss Jackson, all right? And so then this family member contacts law enforcement, and Mr. Smith goes down and confesses to taking this young lady's life, all right? I have some information about the death that I'm just not going to release at this time. What we do know so far, because it's a gruesome death, what we do know so far is that he killed her in Jackson and then drove her to some other part of Mississippi where he, to my understanding, tried to burn and bury the body, all right? And so, people, this just goes to show you again the total disregard for life in this community. This young man knew that everybody was looking for this young lady. He knew that he had done something totally terrible, and yet still he continued to live and operate amongst the community as if anything, he hadn't done anything. Almost the signs of a sociopath, psychotic killer or something. And you're seeing more and more of this among African American men in the African American community. And so, to my understanding, he's 19 years old, and he came and he was brought down by a family member and turned himself into JPD headquarters and has confessed to killing this young lady. It's also my understanding that JPD has traveled to some part of Mississippi and found the remains of this young lady's body, and are hoping to get her back here to her family. It's just, and our condolences go out to this family, all her friends and her loved ones. It's just real sad. And you know, I was real reserved about covering this, but it has to get out. It has to get to the point. You know, you're 19 years old and you can think of how to not only hurt someone lethally, but hurt them to the point where you then decide how to cover it up and then come back and then operate as if nothing has ever taken place. That alone has just blown me away, okay, with this, that this young man was able to do that. It's May the 29th was the last time. And I think there are many posts on Facebook and social media as we began to investigate this case. We found that, you know, people on social media and people, let me say this, Facebook and social media are good platforms, but they're not law enforcement. If you have a loved one that you have not seen, you have not heard from, you're not talked to, it's not common for them to not be in contact with you, then please, ma'am, please, sir, reach out to local law enforcement. Let law enforcement know that your child is missing, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your girl, or whoever. If you have, listen, and I've said this, we have become a community so desensitized to other people that I'm just saying, we'll let stuff go on as if it's okay. I don't care, and I've had people reach out to me and say, well, that was common for her because we done a little investigation. Well, listen, that is never common, okay? You welcome, Ms. Horton, and we're praying for your church, and we will continue to hashtag Pretty Jackson. Thank you. It's not common for our children to be inaccessible for weeks at a time. But Black people, serious, wake up. It is not common for your child, my child, or any other child to be absent for weeks at a time and you not know where they are. I don't care if they not staying with you. I don't care what kind of demons they might be dealing with, okay? Please, ma'am, please, sir, reach out to your children, check on them, call them. If they don't have a phone, get them a phone for you to have, for them to, I don't care how strained your relationship is with your children, all right? Reach out to them, man. Reach out to them and do what's right. Contact local law enforcement if you have a child that's missing or a loved one that's missing. It's not Facebook's job. It's not YouTube's job. It's not nobody's job to find your child and on social media. People, and I understand it. I get it. Trust me. Y'all know I'm a big influence on social media and believe in it. All right. But what I'm saying is don't confuse social media with law enforcement. When you have a missing child, call law enforcement, okay? And let them get on this ASAP, all right? And I'm sure there are many questions, there are many concerns. Our heart and prayers are with this family right now. And then I'm mad. I'm mad because I am looking for this community to be outraged. This is another African-American woman brutally murdered here in this capital city. I don't know what this does to you as women. All right. I don't know about any other woman because I'm not a woman. I can't tell you how you should feel as a woman. I can't tell you how you should feel as a mother that has girls. But I'm gonna tell you how I feel today as a father. And I can only imagine how her father feels today. I'm furious. All right. I'm mad. I'm angry. Because mad and angry are not the same. I'm hurt. And I want revenge. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. I want some revenge. And I know that ain't right. and so y'all pray for me because God got to keep working on me. I really want revenge. I'm telling you, I really do. And I want it for every man that thinks that is okay to beat, kill, mutilate, rape, any of that to a woman. I'm just being perfectly honest. I'm being perfectly honest as a father. And this comes from me as a father because if somebody did that to my child, I'm just being honest with you, I have no remorse. I don't have any. I don't have no remorse for that type of individual. I don't care how or where it comes from. I'm gonna want to cause as much havoc and pain to you, your children, your mama, your granddaddy, your cousins. I'm just being honest with you. I'm gonna want to cause as much pain. I'm gonna want to cause as much pain and as much damage as I can. All right. And so it's just sad, man. It's just sad that we're back in this type of situation again, where we're sitting up here talking about another life being snatched away, another young African American woman being snatched away from us by African American male. All right. And I said this last night in the podcast. It is a sad indictment on this community. It's a sad indictment on this community when African Americans are at their greatest danger in the presence of another African American. That is a direct hypocritical position by all Black Americans across this country that talk about Black Lives Matter, that talk about systematic racism, that talk about judicial racism, that talks about anything dealing with racism. I don't want to hear nothing about racism, period. If I'm at my greatest threat, when I'm in the presence of other African American people. You know, as I don't want to hear about nothing else. If I cannot be safe in the presence of other African American people, if I cannot be safe in the presence of other African American men, and women cannot be safe in the presence of other African American men, then what are we really fighting against? The true enemy then becomes African American people. The true enemy now becomes us fighting against the predators that are preying upon other African American people. And that's the fight. I'm gonna fight, people. I'm not gonna be sitting here fighting after smoking guns that really are not detrimental to the quality of life of African American people when my number one enemy is another African American? What do I look like fighting systematic racism and wasting my time on systematic racism when the enemy itself is Black politicians? When the enemy itself is Black hoodlums and thugs riding up and down the street with AR-15s and 223s shooting innocent people? What do I look like fighting a rebel flag, a rebel Confederate statue when my enemy is another African American? No, I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna fight her. I'm gonna fight it. And that's what you ought to be fighting. This is an atrocity, man. This is an atrocity. And it's a sad indictment on African American people to keep on jumping on the doggone hamster wheel, following after smoking guns and mirrors. Our enemy is within. And that's the enemy that we should be fighting against. And that's just it, man. And my heart goes out to this family. This has to stop. This has to stop. It's unacceptable in this community. It has to stop. All right. And I'm gonna blame people like James Davis. I'm gonna blame people like Lee Vance, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because even in those positions, you created a culture for African American women to be physically and verbally abused by men in uniforms. And then the criminal element sits out here and sees this. And so then it's okay in this community for criminals to physically and verbally abuse African American women. And then you have judges like Tommy Green, Faye Peterson, Winston Kidd, Judge Wooten, all of these other judges, African American judges, that sit up here and let African American men off the hook that have committed acts of humanity against African American women. If you're not going to protect the African American women and children, get out the way. Give us somebody. I don't care if they white. I don't care if they Chinese. I don't care who they are. But protect the women and the children at all costs. At all fucking costs. Protect our women and protect our children. That's what any other true race would do. White men will, at all costs, they will sell out. They will become martyrs for their women and their children. What's wrong with us? And I'm sick of it. So, to that family, our heart goes out to you. To that family, our heart goes out to you. We will continue to follow this case, make sure that this young man receives no bond. He is never to set foot back in this community, period. He is never to have the freedom or the liberties to move among people again, period. I don't understand it. And I don't care what you people say about throwing young people away. Throw them away. Throw them away. What, I mean, you tell me what animal does that? What animal does that? The male lion don't even kill female lions. They might kill another male lion for territorial. But the male lion has sense enough not to even kill a female lion. Terrible. This case is terrible, and it reveals what's wrong with this community. All right, and we just got so much work to do. So much work to do. I'm gonna say this, and I haven't had time to talk to anyone about it because nobody's gonna control what I say, or none of that. At the end of the day, I'm my own man. I'm gonna say what I feel. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from saying it. No man, no woman, no status, none of that. I'm gonna say what I want to say. That's my right. All right, and I'm not gonna compromise it for nothing. All right, now, and I'm gonna say this: I have the utmost respect for the mayor. We have developed a real good friendship. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it publicly. If the mayor does not get rid of Chief James Davis, then he has proven to me that he's soft on crime. Ain't nothing personal. It's not a shot at him. It's just my assessment. It's my right. All right. And unless he is willing to get rid of Chief James Davis, who has destroyed the morale and the integrity, who lacks the capability of running this department with integrity, who lacks the capability of putting together a comprehensive crime plan for this community, then the mayor will prove to me that he's soft on crime and crime isn't his top agenda. Now, outside whatever else we got going on, I don't have no problem with it. But I'm not going to compromise my position on crime and what I feel is right for friendships. It just don't work that way. All right. And so with all the respect that I have for him and have gained for him over the last couple of months, it is a must that he remove Chief Davis as chief of police and get us somebody that can deal with the low morale and the depleting department and all of the animosity that has been created because of Chief James Davis. That's fact. That's not even up for debate. Okay, that's not even up for debate. Now, Pastor Piggy probably has talked to him about it. Whoever. I haven't made mention of him, but I'm no longer. See. Let me tell you something. I will never sacrifice people for popularity. Never. I'll never sacrifice the people for popularity. And it's not popular for Chief James Davis or me or anybody else to act like that he isn't the problem that's wrong with JPD. Number one. That's number one. Let's just be honest with that. Let's take a clear assessment about that. Chief James Davis is the number one problem wrong with JPD. I know that. The mayor knows that. His advisors know that. Hondo knows that. Joe Wade knows that. Commander Banks knows that. Deputy Hearn knows that. Everybody knows that. Tiny knows that. Armstrong knows that. Everybody in the department knows, and even those that are his boy know that Chief James Davis is the problem in JPD. And if the mayor refuses to remove the problem, then the mayor refuses to remove the stigma and everything else that is going along with that, and all of the bad morality that is happening within that department. We got live videos now of officers. It's clear they're not trained correct on how they handling women in the public. It's clear that the public has some animosity towards police I mean, you can see it on these videos, but it's clear that the number one root core to the problem first is James Davis. Remove the problem, man. Remove the problem. All right. That's all I'm saying. You the mayor. I'm just your friend. But you definitely gonna have to remove the problem and move this department forward. I would say kudos to Lee Vance and Tyree Jones. It appears that they did fire Samuel Dukes. I guess you would have to after my podcast. The smartest thing to do would be to fire. But my only question is why you wait so long? You knew what you had when you hired him, Lee. You don't get off the hook for this one either. And Lee, you have an open invitation to come on the show and explain your position. And I would love for you to come on the podcast and explain to this listening audience why you hired him. You had full knowledge of his behavior as a JPD officer. And so in this community, if we're going to be what we confess, see, there's a lot of confession around here. It's just not a lot of commitment. All right. You got a lot of folks confess. Oh, I want to change crime. Oh, we need to stop the shooting. Oh, we need to come together, work together. You got a lot of confession. Just don't have a lot of commitment. All right. And we're looking for commitment. We're looking for courageous, concerned, committed men that will work to change this community and that will be vanguards of this community at all costs. All right. And so once again, breaking story out of Jackson, we will record another homicide. And if the homicide, according to this suspect, Jay Smith, who is now being accused of the murder of Pretty Jackson, a young lady who went missing back on May the 29th. If that homicide happened on May the 29th, the day that she went missing, then that would make her around the 70th something. I have to look at my numbers to see what number she will fall into. And so that pushes us up now to around about 80 something. All right. And so, and 99.3% of them, 79% of them African American. I think only one of these homicides was a Caucasian. All the rest are African American people. All right. And so we have issues. We have problems. This platform will keep you up to date on this breaking story. You got it here first, live, breaking news, exclusive. Silver alert for Pretty Jackson, now confirmed deceased. Boyfriend confessing to the demise of this beautiful young Black sister. Keep it locked right here for all your local in-depth urban report and news, statewide, tea-dropping, however you want to call it. Nobody gives you better, more content than this platform. Also catch us on We Believe Digital Podcast Studio every Tuesday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And also catch us in 149 countries as well as Roku TV. You can also catch us on Monday at 6:30 to 7:30 on the We Believe Digital Podcast Studio for the Pick and the Polo Show. And then also catch us now on WMPR 90.1 every Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30. We out of here, y'all. Bless up. Enjoy your Saturday. Be safe. Be vigilant. And always remember, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.